Hi all, this is Notes 47. So today we are talking about logarithms and what they are and how to convert them. So vocab, just to start, a logarithm is a function which is the inverse of an exponential. So if an exponential is 2x, 2 to the x equals y, then we would switch the x and y. We have 2 to the y equals x. That's what a logarithm is. It's pretty funky, but it's not ultimately that scary. So what we need to know is that log base b of x is equal to y. And that is true if b to the y power is x. So what we can see here is we take the b to the power of y, and it's going to be equal to x. Just like we see here, 3 to the power of y gives me 27, which we have written here. 3 to the power of y equals 27. So it's just another way of writing an exponent. And so we see the word log. The reason we use log is because our calculators use it to calculate. So a logarithm has 3 parts: a base, which is the small little number, the number, which is where it's at, and then the exponent. So the base to the power of the exponent gives us the number. We're going to remember that little loop-de-loop the whole time. If there's no base written, if it just says log 17, the automatic base is 10, so you can assume that there's a little 10 right down there at the bottom. Right? So if we look at how to do this, the way that we convert between exponential and logarithmic forms. So if it has a log, and we see that there's nothing written there, we know it's a 10. So this would be 10 to the power of x equals 1,000. So we'd write 10 to the power of x equals 1,000. We can keep working here, so we have 5 to the power of 4 gives me 625. 5 to the power of 4 gives me 625, which is easy enough. Work with the log ones. If we need to go backwards, we start with the base. So here we see the base. We would say log base 10 of that number gives me this. So of 0.001 gives me the x. If I see it written backwards, like this one up here, I start with the base always, so I would have log base 0.4. I go around the equal sign and all the way back. So log base 0.4 of 5 equals x. You notice we always go around the equal sign and come back to the number that's in the log. So if I was going to look at this one, I'd see that it was 0.4 to the power of x gives me 5, which loops me back to what I have in the beginning. So I know that I did that correctly. Go ahead and finish these ones on this page, and then when you are ready, get them checked off by Ms. Mack. And then finally we have evaluating. This is when we use our calculator. So you can do this in your head. You can say like, if you have a log base 2 of 8, right? We would say, and we don't know what this is. So they're really asking us 2 to the power of what gives me 8? 2 to the power of what gives me 8? And we say, oh yeah, I know, 2 to the power of 3 gives me 8. So the answer to log 2 base 8 must be 3. Right? There's an easier way to do that in your calculator. There's 2 of them. You can either follow these directions or follow these directions. These ones are usually for our newer calculators. This is how we've been doing it for a while. So this is like what I learned when I was in high school. So basically, there's 2 ways. You can either use the calculator to type this straight in, or if you aren't using a calculator, hi guys, sorry. If you're not using a calculator, what you can do is you can take the top number. So you take the log of the top number, which is 4, and divide it by the log of the 16. You just use the log button on your calculator, and then that is going to give you some number. In this case, it's going to give you 0.5. So then for this one, you'd say, okay, this is log 81 over log 3. And you just move on from there. If you have a fraction, type your fraction in the calculator. If you have a decimal, type in the decimal. And you'll be good to go. Thanks, guys.